All right, so this first video is for those who would like a complete introduction to linear equations. All right, so for those who have not remember seeing them last year or need a complete introduction, here we go, straight from the very beginning. Okay, so we have an equation, 2x plus 3 is equal to 7. Let's just get some terminology right. We have this term which we have in x, so this is our algebraic term in here. We have a 3 here. We call this the constant term, okay? So we have to make sure we know what are called the constant term and the algebraic term, because we're going to use that later on. And of course here we have another constant term, okay? What makes this equation linear? Well, if we have an x, we should all know that there is a hidden 1 in the power here, okay? And that goes for this x here. Every time you create an equation, if it has multiple x terms in it, you should notice that the x is to the power of 1. For example, if I create an equation like this, negative 4x plus 3 is equal to 7x plus 5. We have two terms which has an x in them, and they both have x to the power of 1. As soon as I were to add another term here where the x is to the power of something other than 1, then we do not have another linear equation, okay? And we cannot solve it the way that I'm showing you here, okay? So linear equations need x to the power of 1. That's one main idea in here, okay? The second thing in linear equations is the idea of balance. So a long time ago, you should have learned how to balance an equation. So the key thing is we have an equal sign, all right? And let's take something simple here. Imagine I have a 2x on this side and a 3 on this side. To maintain balance, if I wanted to, I could add a 2 on this side, but I would have to add a 2 on this side. If I wanted to multiply this whole side by 4, I could do that, but I would have to multiply this whole side by 4 as well. If I want to divide this whole side by negative 3, I'm allowed to do that, but I have to decide and divide this whole side by negative 3 as well. This is what we call maintaining balance. So these ideas are a key thing to know about introduction to linear equations. Is we have terms, and the linear equation is because we have x to the power of 1 everywhere, even if there's multiple x terms. And we should be able to understand why we maintain balance, all right? So that's what we need to do, is understand whatever we do to one side of this equation, we need to do to the other one. That is a key thing in order for us to understand how to solve all linear equations.